What's up, everybody? I'm giving my week 4 predictions for the NFL matchups coming up this Thursday through Monday. They're going to be amazing matchups with undefeated teams going against each other, divisional teams going against each other, and it's going to be an amazing week of football. So here are my stats, my breakdowns, and predictions coming up for the NFL week 4. But first, let's cue that Metro! Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Anthony Hudson, and it's my turn to give you one of the best upcoming sports podcasts out here. You heard? I'm giving my week 4 predictions as I have this list right here, and it gives my scores, who I feel like is going to play great, and the reason why. So we're going to get straight into it. Thursday night football, Seattle Seahawks versus the Arizona Cardinals. Two teams going against each other from two predicaments that were different as last week as they played, because Seattle Seahawks blew out the Saints by a score, at least when I saw it in the second quarter, 35-3, and literally in the second quarter, 35-3, blew them out. It was a complete easy game for Sam Darnold, Kenneth Walker, as they just could find ways to get down the field easily. And then on the other side, you had the Arizona Cardinals losing a tough one against the San Francisco 49ers by a field goal. Eddie Pinheiro winning by a score of 16-15. Even though Kyler Murray hasn't been playing great, Marvin Harrison hasn't been playing great overall. So I feel like this is a trap game, but not necessarily because normally trap games are when a good team go against like a lower ranked team, and it's kind of like a team you wasn't expecting to win. But I feel like it's a trap game solely because Seattle played so good last week. I feel like they're going to go to Arizona, and it's not going to be the same case. Now, do I still like it's going to be a shootout? Yes, I still feel like it's going to be a shootout. I still feel like Kenneth Walker and Sam Darnold is going to play great. I feel like Marvin Harrison is finally getting into his stride. Kyler Murray has been playing great. One of the better quarterbacks of the league this year. So it's going to be a shootout, but I feel like Arizona come out with the victory at home by a score of 34-31. Close divisional shootout game on Thursday night football, prime time. Can't wait to see it, and it's tonight. So it's tonight. If you're watching this will come out on Thursday. So for sure, we are going to the next games. These will be the 1 o'clock through 3 o'clock games, these will be the morning and afternoon games. There we go. This will be the morning and afternoon games. So it's morning, I say, because it's 12 p.m. Central where I'm at. So we got, I guess we'll say afternoon games. Let's go ahead and get into that. But Vikings versus Steelers, right? Minnesota Vikings are coming off a blowout win just the week before. Everything looked great against Cincinnati. I mean, Justin Jefferson's look great. Carson Wentz, who's the backup to J.J. McCarthy, who's not playing. We're like, is he going to come in and play great? He played amazing. I mean, lights out. I think he only had two to three touchdowns, but played great football the whole entire game. And it was just great to see, if you're a Vikings fan. Jordan Mason dominated, had a really good rushing game, helped them just float past the Cincinnati defense, who I feel like is pretty solid, honestly. And they're not a bad defense at all. So it was a great game for them. And then the Steelers, they ended up having a great game. I feel like especially one of the things that they have been good with is their passing game with DK Metcalf. He's definitely shaped the offense and helped Aaron Rodgers take it to that next level, get better, and take over that position of the Pittsburgh Steelers good. Now, they have been kind of inconsistent with their run and with their turnover margin. I feel like their run game is still a little bit off key, and it's been like that for the past couple of years. No offense, Najee Harris. But it's been like that for the past couple of years. So they will find a ways to make that up defensively, I feel like. But I feel like it's going to be a close game, and I feel like the Steelers are going to win this game at home 24-21. Very close game. If it goes the other way, I could definitely see it. The Vikings have been playing great. So Steelers win that game 24-21. Then you go to the Saints at the Bills. Now, can the Saints win this game, and can the Saints upset everybody or shock everybody? I feel like no, not a chance. I try to hype y'all up. No, Saints fans, I'm not giving you the time of day. Y'all are going to lose this game by a score of 44-13. Buffalo has been the heavy favorite outright to go to the championship and win it all, in my opinion. So James Cook has been playing lights out, just amazing football, not only just with his rushing game, but in the receiving attack as well. So you got Kincaid, you got Kevin Cole, or you got Keon Coleman, just wide receivers and weapons everywhere on that Buffalo Bills team. And Josh Allen is looking like he's on the hunt for real this time to get that ring. So I don't see them at all being. I don't see it at all being close. Maybe if it was at New Orleans, it would probably be a closer matchup, but it's at Buffalo, man. Yeah. So blowout win, 44-13, and Saints will fall 0-4. Spencer Rattler hasn't been playing terrible, in my opinion. He didn't play the greatest game last game, of course, but the first 2 weeks he didn't play terrible. But now it's kind of like, should we switch the quarterback position? I mean, it's questionable. It's definitely raising questions now for sure. So we're gonna see in the future. But going to the next game, the Chargers lost. The Chargers at the Giants. I feel like the Chargers will beat the Giants by a score of 30-13. They already have a 7-point favorite per odds going into it from ESPN, and the Giants have now switched the quarterback from Russell Wilson to Jason Dart. So I feel like that switch is going to be huge as far as just keeping their tempo, keeping their offense. Can Jason Dart come into the offense and play efficiently? Yes, he definitely can. I mean, we see Russell Wilson do it against the Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys do have a bad defense. I'll give you that. But we've seen it. We've seen him play efficiently. I feel like Jason Dart can come in and play efficiently well, just not against this Chargers team, who I feel like are one of the favorites to make it out the AFC. In my opinion, I feel like they can make it out. I know everybody else saying the Bills and saying possibly the Ravens if they could get more in tune with it, but I feel like the Chargers got it this year, man. Chargers are definitely looking to strike fear into not just the AFC, the whole entire league. So got the Chargers winning by a score of 30-13. Then you go to my Falcons going against the Commanders. Now, this is a pretty shaky game. I don't know. We don't know for sure if Jaden Daniels will be playing. They say he is. They say he's questionable. I'm pretty sure it's a game decision as far as his injuries, will he play. But I feel like the Falcons will win this game 21-13. I feel like we just need to just keep the tempo with Bijan Robinson. If the biggest thing with Penix right now, if we could just get plays that will get him throwing down the field more, some corners, some digs, some 15 to 20 yard routes that will get him throwing down the field instead of throwing these swing routes, these flats, these curls and hitches. It's so short that it's just like, okay, you're getting 5 yards, but it's just like you're not going anywhere. You're literally going bunches 5, 5, 5, 5. And the veterans can do that, but for Penix, no, he needs to have that gunslinger type mentality to where, yes, I could throw this ball down 20 yards, 15 yards. And then once you already know, I mean, this is common NFL or common football knowledge. Once you get the football going down with the passing game, of course, the linebackers and safeties back, and then Bijan Robinson will be at play. So I feel like Bijan, if we could just keep him at the tempo, and we know that he's at least getting 20 carries, I feel like that's the biggest thing for us. For the Commanders, they haven't been playing the best because, of course, Jaden Daniels is out. But if Jaden Daniels come in, I feel like the odds might, of course, go to the Commanders. But as of right now, I'm going to keep it with the Falcons, winning by a score of 21-13. But it all depends on if Jaden Daniels is going to play. It really does. Going to the next game, you have the Eagles at the Buccaneers. So I feel like one of, if not the best game of the week. The Eagles have been dominant as far as their defensive line presence with Jordan Davis, with Jalen Carter, with Nolan Smith, just keeping it keeping pressure on these quarterbacks and just keeping it just close. That's all you have to do. Just keep it close to where the Eagles can either get a good drive with Jalen Hurts on the other side of the football. So I feel like the Eagles. I feel like the Eagles have a good chance. But if they wasn't just running into this absolutely hot team right now, the Buccaneers are just blazing hot right now. If they wasn't running into this hot team with Baker Mayfield, who's probably at MVP odds this season, I feel like it would be different. It would be a different outcome. But Eagles would get their first loss of the season going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going to be at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is going to beat them by a score of 27-25. And I feel like Bucky Irvin has just been playing great. One of the future stars of the league. Baker Mayfield already said been playing like MVP. Mike Evans, Godwin. It's just been great players. And then somehow, some way, they already had those two great wide receivers. We already know Mike Evans is the great. Somehow, Emeka Ibuka is just how in the world did he fall to the Buccaneers? Because he has been playing great. That one-hit snag he had last week was just mind-blowing. I mean, they just have weapons everywhere on the Buccaneers. And I see them beating the Eagles. It's just that simple. It's going to be close like it was against the Rams, but I see the Commanders coming out with this one. And then you have the Browns versus the Lions. This is going to be a good game. And I honestly think, in the weirdest way, I think the Browns will actually upset the Lions. I think the Browns will actually upset the Lions by a score of 28-24. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because I feel like the Lions have been playing great against these actual good teams, and it's been very close. They've been keeping it very close. Myles Garrett has been keeping his presence and just putting pressure on these quarterbacks. And I know that a couple teams are just now getting into the system, just now getting into their flow, and the Lions, who can put up 50 against a team literally 2 weeks ago, should be able to put up 30 again against the Ravens the next week, should be able to put up 30 again against the Browns. But I feel like the Browns, for some reason, I don't know why, this might be a trap game. I feel like that's what it is. Might be a trap game. Browns, if they can just get better with their secondary and better with defending down the field, it will help them get to this win. I feel like that's the biggest thing. So if you see the secondary playing better with Denzel Ward, and because we already know the defensive line been playing great, we can see that defense playing better downfield. I feel like the Browns can come out with a weird but yet crafty and strategic win over the Lions. And if they don't, I mean, it's cool. I mean, the Lions it is what it is. I mean, the Lions are definitely the better, or have better odds in them, but that's what I feel like. Going into the Patriots versus the Panthers. Now, this is going to be a close game. I feel like the Patriots will win over the Panthers by a score of 29. No, my bad. By a score of 21-9. I feel like the Panthers, who just gave away too many turnovers the last couple of weeks, have finally got that together last week against my Falcons, not throwing the ball over, actually playing a really great game. I mean, they played probably one of the best games Bryce Young has played all throughout his whole entire NFL career so far. And if they can keep that up, they could keep it close against the Patriots, but I feel like Drake May has just the better offensive talent, the better system, and it's weird to say that because the Panthers, I said that about my Falcons last week, that they'll easily win. But who knows? If the Panthers win, like I said, I would not be surprised. So going Patriots, but I would not be surprised if the Panthers win. I need the Texans this week to beat down the Jaguars. Like, they have to beat down the Jaguars, not only for this season, but for their confidence, for CJ Stroud. They need to beat down the beat down the Jacksonville Jaguars. So for them to say that, am I saying it right? Oh my goodness, I'm saying the Jacksonville Jaguars. I need the Texans to beat down the Titans. There we go. I need them to beat down the Titans by a score of 38-10. I need them to win. I need CJ Stroud to play on all cylinders, no matter what, throughout the whole entire game and play great. So going into the Rams versus Colts, which is the game of the week. Definitely the game of the week. It's going to be a close one. The Colts and Daniel Jones have been playing so great and so sufficient. And Daniel Jones has been dropping 2 to 3 touchdowns every single week with 250 plus yards every single week. So sufficient. It's a mind blowing to watch it right now. And they're going to get some Rams, who I feel like is one of the less talked about, but definitely legit teams in the NFC. Like, Rams can literally, if they wanted to, could beat any team, I feel like, in the NFC. Like, if they really needed to, like, if they really play like their best game, best performance, I feel like the Rams could beat anybody in the NFC. I'm really being honest, but it's going to be a close one. I feel like the Colts should come out with a close margin, 28-27. Daniel Jones, he just gets, if Daniel Jones could just keep this up, they're not losing. The Colts are not losing to anybody, and respectfully. And these are two teams right now. It's like the Rams can beat anybody. Like, the Rams literally can sneak up and beat anybody. They can literally sneak up and beat anybody, I feel like, in the playoffs if they play them. And then the Colts right now are so hot that they, like, do I want to say it, man? Do I want to say Super Bowl odds? I mean, the next game, man. Go to the next game. I can't say it. Just, do I want to say Daniel Jones? I can't say it. Okay, Jacksonville Jaguars at the 49ers. I feel like the 49ers are easily going to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. I feel like even with injuries to Brock Purdy, it's still going to be pretty solid for them to come in and play pretty good. I mean, they won as the last game against Arizona Cardinals, which I feel like was a good game. And Jaguars, I haven't seen too much of the Jaguars really with their offensive scheme and what's going on with them. I know Brian Thomas and Brian Jr. is on there, but I haven't really seen too much from them as far as that. So we'll see, but yeah. Then you got the next game. The next game, you got the Ravens versus the Chiefs. One of the two premier teams in the AFC for the past 5 to 6 years or so. It's going to be a close game. I have the Ravens winning by a score of 13-10. It's going to be a tough, gritty defensive game. The Chiefs may get a Xavier Worthy back, but I still don't know. Their offense hasn't been the best. They only put up 22 points against the Giants. You know, Chiefs in the past couple of years or so probably would have blown them out by like 40 or so. But I feel like it's going to be a tough, gritty game. And the Ravens will win this game, giving them a morale boost to their whole entire team as they beat the Chiefs. And it's going to be close. I feel like it's going to be close. Derrick Henry might put up like 150 yards or so and might have like one touchdown. I feel like going into the next game, you got the Bears versus the Raiders. I feel like the Bears can win this game by a solid score of 23-20. It's going to be a close matchup. I want to see if Ashton Jeanty can finally have a breakout performance. I know his offensive line hasn't been that great, but we just can see if he himself can just break out and do what he needs to do, especially with the Bears having so many players on IR. We can just see if that's going to be one of the performers or better performers of the game. But the Bears will win this game solely because I feel like Caleb Williams has finally understood Ben Johnson offense. Not he hasn't mastered it, not to the best part or best to his ability, but I feel like he's finally getting it. Once again, I know it's the Cowboys. The Cowboys defense hasn't been great all year, and I know it's only been 4 weeks, but still. Feel like he's finally getting it. Last game was a huge game. Basically saved their season. They can potentially win 9 to 10 games this year. So, like the Bears will beat the Raiders. Close one again because it's the Bears, respectfully. Score a 23-20. And you go to the Packers. Sunday Night Football going against the Cowboys. They're going to be at Texas, or they're going to be at the Cowboys Stadium. It's going to be packed out. Cowboy fans are going to be loud chirping at Micah Parsons' return to the Cowboys, and it's going to be a great scene at AT&T Stadium, and I just can't wait. I just can't wait to see Micah Parsons come back and destroy their offensive line. That sack Dak Prescott at least 3 to 4 times and win by a score of 24-13. Jordan Love's going to play great. Matthew Golden is probably going to have 2 touchdowns, and it's not going to be close. Honestly, I feel like just like the other week when the Packers routed and dominated the Commanders, and there was a lot of three and outs. I feel like it's going to be the exact same thing for the Cowboys. There's going to be a lot of 3 and outs, a lot of uncertainty. CeeDee Lamb is not even playing, but they still got George Pickens. Still got George Pickens at their number 1 as of right now. But it's going to be a lot of 3 and outs, a lot of just uncertainty, and Cowboys are going to get manhandled by the Packers just defensively. So they're going to do whatever they want against them. Now, these are the final 2 games. Monday Night Football, New York Jets at the Miami Dolphins. Miami will beat the Jets, in my opinion, by a score of 31-21. And I'm saying this because Tua actually has not been playing the worst football. He's actually been playing solid. Like, he really has. He actually been playing pretty decent football when it comes to it. Getting touchdowns, getting scores, finding his receivers. It's just, can that offensive line block for him? And going against the Jets, I know they still have Quentin Williams, but can that defensive line put a surge to the Miami offense? Possibly, but I feel like their offensive line would protect better than they have in the past couple of weeks. So you give Tua some time, man. He got it. I promise you he does. So it's going to be a good game, 30-21. Miami is still going to be a good offensive game. Justin Jefferson's still going to find Garrett Wilson. He's going to do good. Breece Hall. And it's still going to be a good offensive game, but I just feel like Miami might turn out and branch out in the fourth quarter and win the game as far as that. So in final game, you have the Bengals at the Denver Broncos. It's going to be a blowout, in my opinion, solely because I don't even feel like Jake Brown is a bad quarterback. I feel like he's actually a solid quarterback. I feel like he probably could start somewhere if he really could. I feel like he really could start somewhere if they gave him like a 1-year contract or something like that, because he's really not that bad of a quarterback. But Broncos, Bo Nix, they lost the game before. They need a bounce back game, and bounce back games be brutal, man. Bounce back games, especially going at home, can be the most brutal thing, because it's like all the things you saw this team struggle with last week literally has just gone out the window. The running game playing great. The wide receivers are getting open with Sutton, and everything that went wrong the week before has been going good for them. So that's what I feel like. Denver defense, of course, is strong. And the Bengals offense has struggled with the lowest yards per game so far. So I'm pretty sure that's in the whole entire league. But as far as that, man, that's what I got for my predictions going into it. And yeah, man, I mean, there's other things I know we have to look for, of course, my bad. Other things we got to look for, of course, can we see the Panthers offense play good? Micah Parsons returning to his former team. Want to see if Xavier Worthy would come back to the Chiefs. James Cook is on the verge of keeping the Bills streak alive. Jason Dark is coming back. And then that Brock Purdy and Matt Jones, their injuries at QB, will that affect San Francisco? In my opinion, I don't think it will, because they just have so many weapons on there. But yeah, as far as that, those are my predictions for the games that are coming up starting today, this Thursday, as this video will be out by then. And make sure you can stay tuned, man. If you follow me on Instagram and TikTok right here, I appreciate y'all. If you're listening right now on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, I appreciate y'all just listening to me as I get better with my craft. And that's pretty much it, man. Y'all have a blessed day and peace.